Here at ActionVFX, we are always creating demo reels to try and showcase our VFX library the best that we can. Since we're doing this all the time, we thought that'd be a great opportunity to share some of our insights and expertise to try and help you guys land your dream VFX job. Now, a demo reel is not a personal art gallery, it's a professional tool. Think of it as your cinematic resume. A good demo reel hits hard, looks professional, but more importantly makes the agent or studio go, I want this person on my team. A 1 to 2 minute long showcase of your best work to get you hired. And you only want to make the best impression. So now that we know what the purpose is, let's actually give you some tips. So let's first talk about structure and the best practices in order to kind of create the perfect demo reel. First up, you got to start strong. 5 seconds. That's all you got. So you want to open with your most impressive shot. You want to pick something that is visually impressive, eye-catching, and maybe already showcases your skills right off the bat. So people immediately go, okay, that guy is this. So now that you've got that impressive opener, you want to now kind of retain that impression. So the best approach is to kind of keep it short. 1 to 2 minutes is the best approach. And within that time, 5 to 10 killer shots would do the trick nicely. You don't need to show 30 different things or how many short films you've been a part of. Just showcase the most important, most impressive things that you can. There's that old saying that less is more. Completely the case when it comes to a showreel. You need to respect the time of the recruiters or the studios. Like if they're looking through hundreds and thousands of applicants, having a killer opening and a short reel, it gives you a really quick punch and people aren't going to tune out and move on to the next person. You can retain their attention, keep it strong, and make them go, okay, this is the person. Within that 2 minute window, you kind of want to show variety, but stay focused. I know that's a little bit tricky. If your main focus is an FX artist, then make sure that you're showing FX. Demonstrate your ability to do simulations and try not to show things like character animation because you did it one time. You want to make sure that there is a mixture of shots that align with your specialism. If you're choosing to become a generalist, then, you know, this is a little bit more flexible. You can show a little bit more if that studio is looking for someone who can do a little bit of everything. But most studios will be looking for specialists in certain areas. So make sure that your reel is tailored to that certain role. And you know, if it's your dream and aspiration to be that thing, you want to make sure that you're working towards that thing. With each of those shots, you also want to label them. A nice, clean, lower third that has some details of what you did on this particular shot. Maybe you directed the thing, maybe you did the compositing, because otherwise they'll assume that you did everything. And you know, that might not be the case. Then 10 years down the line, they'll be like, hey, you did this once, right? And you're like, no, I didn't do that at all. And I remember seeing it. Oh, I didn't do that. So, you know, you don't want to be in that scenario. What? But most importantly, at the beginning and at the end, have your name and your contact details. Your name, the most important thing. They can obviously find you at Google and stuff like that, or be attached to your resume as you send stuff out. Okay, I know where to go to contact this person further, or maybe just dig around and find out more about what you worked on. Now let's talk about the content. My specialty, to be honest. The most impressive thing that you can do with your demo reels is show VFX breakdowns. The reason that VFX breakdowns are so impressive is because they show the problem solving that you have to apply. Or maybe you paid close attention to a small little thing. It's really impressive to kind of just show, yes, okay, this is what I do and this is how I approached it as well. That problem solving aspect is so important to studios. They'll look into that a lot more than a final finished shot. It shows that you can technically apply things, and sometimes the VFX breakdown is more impressive than the final shot. I can't tell you how often I'll be on YouTube or Instagram and I will stop because of a good VFX breakdown. They do really well on social, so you can also build up your personal online brand while also applying for jobs. So make sure that you're paying close attention to VFX breakdowns because they can help you out a lot when it comes to standing out. And from personal experience, you never know how many people kind of turn and say, well, how did you do that? Can you do a tutorial? With these VFX breakdowns, you can also clarify whether you're working as a team or a solo artist. If you can demonstrate that you work well as a team, that's also a plus. Studios in particular really enjoy that. So to summarize why it's worth showing VFX breakdowns, it's pretty simple. VFX breakdowns have credibility, demonstrate skills, and also provide a standout factor. So we've got structure, we've got content, and let's talk about some mistakes. I want to make sure that you're not making one. ActionVFX has a practice footage library, so if you're working on your VFX reel, green screening, 3D compositing, set extensions, you name it, we have it. They're professionally shot and ready for everything. And most importantly, they're free to use. So if you're looking to maybe add a couple more shots into your demo reel, download them, play around, use some assets. Definitely go check that out if that is something of interest. There is a link in the description of this video or up here floating somewhere, so click it and it'll take you right to the practice footage library. Cool, on with the other stuff. We've got a structure, we've got content. Let's talk about some mistakes. For me, this is what makes a bad showreel completely. Bad pacing. Obviously, you know, you're a filmmaker, VFX artist, maybe you're an editor as well, but bad pacing, lingering on a slow, boring shot for far too long, it's dull. You want to keep it tight, showcase the ability, and then move on to the next thing. You don't want to hold on too long and make it uncomfortable. This next tip kind of ties back to what we were talking about with content, but if it's unfinished, don't put it in, please. Don't put it in. You only want to show the work that is completed. It's not your favorite thing in the world, don't include it. You don't need to pad out the runtime. You don't need to do things that make you feel uncomfortable. You only want to show the final things really in the breakdowns. There's no point kind of showing something that was half done or maybe like not a personal favorite of yours. This is all about first impressions and making you stand out and feel the best that you can. So make sure that you're only putting in the final pieces. Distracting music. You know, adding sound effects and music to a demo reel is fantastic, but you don't want music that has lyrics that are distracting, maybe come off in a bad light. Music is a great way to show off your personality, but you don't want it to distract from the work that you're presenting. My advice is to keep it low, keep it upbeat for sure, and make sure that it reflects you, but if you can, stick to instrumental. It will really kind of like draw all your attention onto the work. So you've got your reel completed, you've avoided the mistakes. Now it's just time to export. You can whip that out at HD or 4K if you can, then upload it straight to YouTube. I would personally advise maybe uploading it to Vimeo. The compression, there's always an argument about like the compression, but Vimeo is targeting filmmakers for sure, so why not upload it onto there? This also means that if you're creating content on YouTube that isn't necessarily related to what you do, then you know you can keep them nice and separate. Design a clean, eye-catching thumbnail. You can do this pretty simply in Photoshop or Canva. Pick the most impressive shot, add in your name, and jobs are good and you're actually ready to go now. This way, when you're sharing links, whether it's on LinkedIn or through emails, that thumbnail will pop up with your work, with your name, and that way it's a little bit more enticing to click on rather than default. You'll want to make sure that you're getting that high click rate. The gist that I'm getting at is that presentation matters and thumbnails are also a first impression too. So you really want to grab their attention and go, I want to check out this guy's work. So demo reel tips, what are we going to do? Keep your reel short, punchy, and focus on the skills that you want to highlight. Show your best work, use VFX Breakdowns to highlight your attention to detail, improve your credibility, and stand out above the rest. Your skills will speak for themselves. Tips that we have covered in this video today are mainly just to kind of help enhance them that little bit further. I remember making my first demo reel and it was so random and just messy. I don't want you to make those mistakes. So I really do hope that these tips have been helpful to you. If you do end up making your demo reel, whether it's with the practice footage library or using your own stuff, be sure to share it with us on our Discord. And you know, if you've enjoyed this, then please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time.